Hello there, my name is Ismail. Welcome to Top Channel 101. So in this video, let us look at how to create a nut and a bolt in Blender. Yeah, so this is the reference images we're going to be using, and yeah, you can get some free ones in from Google if you want. But yeah, let's get started. So what we're going to start with is this bolt here, and we need to create a profile for these ridges. So let's go add a plane. Make sure we center this in the center of the scene, and add our plane. Reorient it to the front. So rotate X 90, Y 90 degrees, and you can apply the rotation if you want. And let's delete. Let's create the profile. So let's just push it that way. So this is going to be the profile for these ridges here. So let's see. Now we can delete these extra faces. So one thing to note is that the distance of your profile from the center of the object is going to be the radius of your screw here. So we can push it out a bit, maybe scale it down to something like that. Now we can add the screw, a screw modifier. Okay, so if it's not reoriented to your direction, you can change the axis a bit. So if it's looking like this, you can change the axis a bit here. So you want it to face you like this. You want the profile, this profile to face you like that. So you can recalculate the normals so that the normals are facing outside, and we can go change the screw to 1 and see. So what you need to do, what you need to have is these two vertices here to be touching one another. So you need to play around with the value here until they touch. You can also turn on merge vertices. So let's zoom in a bit. It's really important that these ones are touching and not intersecting or going through each other. So let's try 0.7, okay, 0.9, 0.85, 0.82, 0.83. Think that's a good position. Now after that, you can add an array because we need to have these repeated. So we can add an array in the z-axis. Let's go to, now let's play around with this. Let's try 0.5. Let's try 0.8. Let's go reduce this. Okay, oh yeah, I think that's good enough, but our profile is not interesting enough, so let's extrude these two vertices, then scale them by, let's scale them by 2, and let's scale them by 0.5, scale them by 1.5, and let's change these to, let's say 1. Control. Let's see. Let's first turn off smooth shading so that we see how these are lining up. So let's try maybe let's also turn on draw wires for the object, and let's go back. And because we edited the object, we need to first go back to the screw. So I'm turning off array so that I'm seeing what I'm doing, and make sure that again the starting point of our screw is touching and not intersecting or going through the other point of our screw. So let's So let's see. Let me first turn off this wireframe. So you need to make sure that these are touching, otherwise you're going to have a lot of problems down the road. So let's try 1.3, 2.5. .6. .4, 5. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Every time you edit your profile, I'll make sure that these ones don't intersect or do not go through each other. They just touch each other. So let's turn back the array. And now let's increase the count and see that's what we have. So if we turn on smooth shading again, and you can also turn on merge here for the array to merge any vertices that are going through each other. And if we add a smooth shading, subdivisions, you can see this is what we have. So if you have the screw non-touching, those points non-touching, you will have something like, you will have those gaps there. So make sure that you do all the steps we did there. And maybe let me save this. Screw, nut, and bolt. So if you want these ones to be very sharp, to have sharp edges, you can come in, select these two. As long as you don't touch these two vertices, you can edit these other vertices without adjusting the screw values. So let's add a bevel to this. So Ctrl-Shift-B to bevel the edge. You can see we have that sharp edge now. We can also bevel this, and maybe again bevel those two edges like that. So if you want, you can also move these around. So you can do pretty much whatever you want there. Now, after you are done with the profile, you can apply the screw on the array. Now let's make sure that let's extrude this part here at the top. So you can come in, or the other thing you can do, you can hit W on your keyboard and then remove doubles to remove any extra vertices that may be through. If you're not removing any, you can come in and increase or decrease the edge count here, the merge distance. So it seems I'm removing a few extra loops that I had added in, so I can reduce that. So I can select this edge loop here to this edge loop here. So I can do this, duplicate it, move it up, scale it in the y-axis, in the z-axis, so that it is flat like that, and I can extrude it like that, so that we have that. And now I need to merge this to this. So I can select from here to about here, and then this to there. So then like this, and then like this, and then make sure that then I can bridge those loops. Can turn on small shading for everything. Now we can start to play around to get these loops to connect. So let's see how we can connect this here. So I can curve this rope around here so that I don't have to add extra loops here. So I can extrude like this, maybe scale it a bit, and let's go in top mode, top view, push it there. And so these can be, let's see, can also extrude again. Again, push it in like that. Scale it again, and I can connect these two loops. So that we have that loop going through like that without adding too much extra edge loops we don't need here. And now we can again add another loop here and add another loop. And I can push this and connect that and that. Maybe scale this, and I can extrude again this, connect that, and let's see how this looks now. So I can add one, let's see if we add one loop there, it will add an extra loop there. So again, if you want, you can extrude again this. Bring it back like that and have it connected like that, like that. And I can do this. What I'm trying to avoid is extra edges, extra edge loops, because if I wanted to add an edge loop to connect this, it will also create an extra edge loop this side. So, and maybe what we can do is just subdivide this here. And I'll have this like this, and have this like that and like that. So we are trying to avoid any unnecessary edge loops, so we can have this connected to that and close off that like that. So we just need to come in and start pushing them so that they follow the curvature of the screw. just need to can even merge these two here. So that we don't have to do this side again, we can just come in and select this part there, duplicate it, flip it vertically, and see how we can connect this. Now we can select this loop here and this here, extrude, scale Z, zero. Now we can come in here and start working on this. So you can turn on snapping and to vertex and merge. Merge that with that. First remove this face. Delete this face here, delete this face, delete these faces here as well, and that can push these two back. Connect this to that, this to that. I think we have a face inside here, so let's delete that as well. and that, and any faces that are here. Can remove doubles as well. Push this. Let's rotate this. And now we can connect this to this. And now we can cut from here to there. And add a few vertices. Now we can cut this like this. Last, and connect this up there, and this like that. Now we can remove doubles again. See what are we missing here. So it seems there is a face here. Merge. And now we have that. So let's create the head. So let's create the head. So this is a 6-sided polygon, so we can add a circle, give it 6 sides, 6 vertices, extrude it, scale it. We can now extrude it in the, go to edit mode, extrude it in the x-axis, in the z-axis, and select the 6 edges, bevel them, and you know what we can do first is first extrude this, then merge it in the center, merge center, and we can select these edges, all the edges that are supposed to be sharp, and give them a bevel. Then you can mirror this in the z axis, and then we have that. So we are not done yet. We can add, if you want to, you see this is kind of, it kind of has this curve here, it's curving a bit, so we can add 2 edge loops for every part here. Now we can come in and select let's first add a loop here. Then we can select all these corners. Okay, we forgot, I think, to add an edge loop here. So let's do that. Again, let's select these. And we can push them down a bit like that. And we can select everything and maybe increase the size a bit and turn on small shading. And then turn on, give it a subdivision surface. So we have something like that. So if you want to make this a bit sharper, can add a loop there, and you will have that. And can also select this loop and then hit Shift Alt S and then 1 to turn it into a circle, a perfect circle. Then this edge loop the same. Let's do the same for this edge loop. And make sure you're selecting the entire thing, and then we'll have that. You see, there is that kind of bevelish circle there, so we can select this edge loop and maybe just add a loop here to have that. And if we want to make it more visible, we can just select this top part and push it up a bit. And if you want, you can also add another edge loop there. So that's what we have. We can apply the mirror modifier, and you can also join these two, and we can delete this part here. And if you want, you can bridge these two. I'm not sure if we are using the same vertices, number of vertices, but let's see. So it seems it's not the same number of vertices. So let's see how many. If we select minus that bridge. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, let me see. So it's 16 vertices, and this is 18 vertices. 16, 18. Now we just need. Let's see now. We have 17. We have 18. Let's also 18. Now we can bridge everything like that, and we can bring this down. Also make sure that it's centered it's aligning with the entire with the other part. So now this down part, so that's the bolt. So the nut is going to be a bit easier, so we just select what we already have created, delete these extra parts, get this top part, delete the faces, and we can make sure that the same circle, same size. And now we can have them connected. You can add an edge loop there and an edge loop there. Let's make sure this origin is centered. Now to add the ridges in the bolt, we can add a few loops like this, maybe even more. Let's try that. Select them, give them a bevel with 3 loops, and select the middle loops, and scale them in the X and Y plane. So if you want them to look sharper, you can also bevel that edge loop. So we have that, and we can bring that here. So maybe make it so larger than the size of the bolt. So scale it in the X and Y plane like that, and we can do that. Then we have our nut and bolt. Let me set up some quick lighting here. So scale that. Set up a simple scene. Give it a smooth shading, add a subdivision. Let's add a light to the top. So we have maybe a three-point lighting. Let's add an area light. Push it up, and let's give it 5 to, let's see, 1000. Rotate in the X. Let's try 5 here. It's going to be 500. Okay, let's see what else can we do. Let's add some environment texture for the lighting, for extra lighting. Let's use this and change the color management to filmic, and let's see, increase the exposure a bit. Now let's add the materials and see. I'm going to use only the principal shader. Principal BSD. Metallic, obviously. Roughness. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a render, and maybe I'll show you the rendered images after. So yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe as if you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video.
get something for free, I'd rather do that and get the time than shelling out $1.
The family that shares their bath water. They take turns washing themselves in the same water to save on their water bill.
Save money on water and electricity. We use cold water and the whole family takes a bath. My husband will take a bath, then I do, then Ronnie, and saves us a lot of money.
I like how the dad goes first, then the mom, and then their kids. You know what? I think I'd rather pass than wash myself in my parents' dirty bath water. So anyways, today I got a new cheap family for you. Possibly even cheaper than this one. I'll let you guys be the judge. So here they are at the car wash. First of all, they don't even buy the car wash $3. Nah, I can do it for 25 cents at home. So they go straight to the vacuum.
Alright, let mommy do that side over there. Sir? I was vacuuming there and I think my wife lost her earring. Is there anything you can do for us?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
I mean, it just went right through, so.
Yeah, no problem. It just goes right in here.
Alright, kids.
Biggest scam of 2018, guys. He got the whole family in on it. So what he just did right here, she didn't lose an earring. They didn't vacuum it up.
Okay, so this is the final render, and yeah,